Hey there, everybody. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Empire Interviews. This is one I'm excited about. We've been talking about palm economy on the show. Desert's really excited about palm economy, so we're going to be hearing about some of the things that they have going on, learn about Zengate Global in general. But I'm excited to be sitting down with Theodor. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Right. How are you doing today, Theodor?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really excited for our conversation.
I think it's going to be a good one. So first of all, for people out there that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little introduction. And I started to talk about Zengate Global. I started to talk about palm economy. There's a whole lot of things that I know that you're involved in. Some of them probably overlap. Right. So tell us about that and what your role is, what you do.
For sure. Yes, it's my pleasure. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But just to give a brief introduction about myself, my name is Theodor Morisis. I'm a Greek, born and raised in Athens, and I've moved in Canada 14 years ago, back in 2011. I've been living in Vancouver since then. Worked as a chef for most of my life. Did from restaurants to hotels to nursing homes, all the way up to working in the movie industry for the past 5 years before I quit and go full-time on Zengate Global. With that being said, I've been in crypto since 2016. Big fan of Cardano and Charles since the TEDx in Bermuda. That video that really caught my eye, and his vision made me really want to join the ecosystem, which I did the first second that ADA hit the Bittrex exchange back in September of 2017. I'm a holder since, and I'm a very proud member of the community. And fast forward, where we had the Selly era, that's where I really decided to become an active member of the community. Up until then, I was just a holder, I had a Twitter account just so I can check the news, like most of us have done. Back in, I think it was 2021 when Selly came out, I decided to start my own stake pool so I can start becoming active in the community, and really start, bringing something on the table. Being a chef, like I mentioned earlier, I had no technical skills whatsoever. But being in crypto since 2016, I did a lot of reading, and I had to understand and learn what blockchain is, what the hell is, all this coding, and what these weird and complex words and what all that stuff mean and does. And so it was a big learning curve, but I learned a lot. And with my help of my brother, because he is the technical guy behind our pool, we created the Chef pool. So Chef with one F, and those of you that know, know. Since I started becoming an active member in the community as an SPO, I just wanted to do more. I wanted to bring more to the ecosystem, start being more active and participating in the community. So like I said, I started my own stake pool, and slowly but surely that started growing. We started building a community with all the delegators. As you understand, I mentioned earlier that I was a chef, so the pool name was Chef. All the delegators that started to join, we all had something in common, which was food. That we were going on for a couple of years, and I decided that I wanted again to just do more, and I became a Cardano ambassador, and I started building the Greek Cardano community. Back then we had zero, actually, there was no place for people from Greece that were holding ADA or were fans of Cardano that, you know, could get news and whatnot. So I started a Discord community. I started my own YouTube channel in Greek. Started doing educational content for a year. And then I started actually a YouTube channel in English as well, just because I wanted to not be super focused in the Greek community, but started to educate the broader Cardano community. With that being said, fast forward again, I'm just trying to keep it as short as I can, but there's a lot of information, unfortunately. I was a big fan, like I said, of Charles, but more than anything, Daniel Friedman was the person that I was really looking at. You know, obviously met him through Twitter and his tweets and his posts and whatnot. But I really liked what he was doing with Charles. So when Rare Bloom actually started happening, I think it was in 2022, I decided that I will get I'll buy myself a VIP pass. I really saved, really tried to save for a couple of months so I can actually go get that pass, because I really wanted to be in the same room and the same place with Dan. I wanted to shake his hand. I wanted to go and meet him. And at that time, I remember that Dan put a video out while he was in some mountains in Japan, started saying about his vision, and he was still in IOG back then. But he was saying that he wants to form this company that's called Zengate. And he had a vision, and he laid it all out in like a 20-minute video. And I just got hooked. I loved it. So as soon as I went to Rare Bloom, I really, my main focus was to go find Dan and ask him to go and work with him, which I did. And his answer was a big no, because back then, like I mentioned, he was still in IOG. Zengate was just an idea. He just barely started working with Sam, the other one of the other co-founders, and Nico, like I said, like all three co-founders. So I just started working with them voluntarily for almost a year, doing socials and trying to just bring this, company into life with their social media and whatnot. And yeah, long story short, I started as a volunteer, and now I'm a co-founder of the company and the director of business development.
That's fantastic. All right, so yes, there was a lot of stuff there. But what I'm gonna
sorry about that.
No, you're good. So the breaking it down, right? So you started, like, you were originally a chef. You've done acting in movies. You've done all types of different things in your life before crypto. Then
not acting, cooking in the filming. And so I was cooking for the actors.
In the filming
not
industry.
Acting.
Interesting. See, I was gonna say, with that face, you could definitely be one of the actors, or one of the villains or the heroes, whatever it is that playing a role. But I love that. So you were a chef in the film industry. It's fantastic. So that was your like kind of like your before crypto life. Then after crypto, you became a stake pool operator, and then you worked your way into becoming a co-founder of Zengate Global with Dan and the other guys. And so for people that are not familiar with Zengate Global, can you explain to me what is Zengate Global? What do you guys do? And what is kind of like the mission that got you so inspired from Dan in the beginning?
Yes, of course. Zengate is a software company that essentially is building infrastructure on top of Ergo and Cardano, and our main focus is traceability and solutions that really can track and trace products and commodities from farm all the way to the table, making sure that all the practices are using and following sustainable ways, following ESG standards, and essentially there is, trustless sustainability. We have 3 products right now. The first product is called Palmyra Platform, and that was something that we launched last year. 2 years ago, actually, in Rare Evo. This is a platform that producers and buyers from all around the world can go and buy or sell their products. And the good thing from this platform is that you can directly source any products that you want, any commodities that you want directly from the farmer. And you know that the money that you will pay will go directly to the farmer. There is no middleman. We try to, with this aggregator platform that we built, we really try to get all the middlemen out of the way and essentially make sure that the producers actually get the money that they deserve for all the sweat and hard work that they've put in to produce what they produce. So that's the first one. And also Palmyra platform, like I said, is an aggregator platform. So not only people can source their products, but we also have different partners that we're working with in terms of logistics and payment providers. So people can essentially go and source all their products and get their logistics and payments all through the platform. And essentially they will get their products at their doorstep. So again, that's the first product, Palmyra platform. We have the second product that we launched actually back in December, like a month ago actually, in Argentina, and it's called Palmyra Endeavor. And this is our tokenized STO platform. So people can actually go and tokenize from lithium mining sites to, let's say, olive tree fields, to solar energy farms, to whatever essentially people would like to tokenize, so they can fundraise and go by and do their business. And the third product is called Palmyra Pro, which is our traceability protocol that everything is really running on. And that's our enterprise solution, where we work with big companies and we essentially put our software within their system, and they can use, again, they can trace every single thing on their supply chain. So these are the three products that we're building. We're fully focused on Cardano and Ergo, and all of our solutions are open source as well.
That is phenomenal. So for people that are out there, basically you're saying that a lot of the solutions that you have are for traceability and sustainability, for people to be able to actually see where things are coming from, what the process is like that they go through, and then like who the process is or the product is coming from, and connecting buyers to suppliers, but on the kind of like the first level. So farmers can provide you their products through the Palmyra marketplace platform, right? And it's an aggregator of those types of things.
Yes, exactly. And it solves two different problems. And I'm quickly just going to go through them. From the producer side of things, there's always this big problem that producers have when they want to export their products, especially when it's outside of the country, as you understand, where, when they spend all of their time within the fields and they, really work there, when they have to export their products outside of their country, to them, that's a big headache, because they have to go and find a logistic company, they have to go to the port or wherever else they have to go to bring their products. And that's something that we take out of their head. So with having them listed their products onto the platform, what happens is the logistic company, as soon as they get an order in, they can just put it together, and the logistic company will go and pick up their order. So that takes a huge headache out of their head. And at the same time, because of the payment solutions that we have, they know for sure that they will get their money. As you know, and I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but there's a lot of times that right now we see a lot of trades happening on Facebook groups. And you don't know if the product that you will get is the product that they say that it is. There's no really a safe way to for payments. So this is where we bring the platform, and we try to bring all those solutions to all the producers. And from the buyer side of things, as we know, especially in 2025, Happy New Year's. Especially in 2025, we know that people are really aware of what they consume, and they want to know what it is that they consume. We see that all the time. When you go to a grocery store, there's the avocado and there's the organic avocado, and there's a difference in pricing. But how do I really know that the avocado that it has the organic sticker is really organic. I don't know. I have to trust the grocery store. And there's a lot of times, and you've seen that on a daily basis, especially in US. If you're in US, there's FDA recalls on a daily basis. Either it's from lettuce, from chicken, from beef, to any other thing. So knowing exactly where your product is coming from, what it had while it was getting raised, the food that it consumed and whatnot, these are essential information that people need to know and have. Not only that, but there's also a big need for traceability, especially from farm to table, like we discussed so far, from the regulation side of things. So by 2026 in US, every single product that's on the shelf has to have traceability. Otherwise, they won't be able to sell anything. And same goes for the European Union with the EUDR regulatory framework that's out, and it's coming in effect in a few months from now. It's the same thing. People won't be able to sell any of their products unless they have full traceability from farm to table. And when we talk for small holders or medium-sized holders, that there's not going to be a way for them to build this kind of solutions. So what's happened? What's going to happen? They're going to get out of business. And this is where the platform comes in. And we're really hoping that we're going to be able to give these kind of solutions to people and not go out of business, but actually grow their business instead.
That's phenomenal. And that's super interesting because I think that I mentioned this to you on a call that we've had before, or I've mentioned to Brian. But I was in Colombia recently, and I was working for a hedge fund, basically consulting, dealing with a little issue that they had there, or helping with an issue. And one of the people that was there tried to pitch to me, to pitch to the hedge fund, right, an investment into the infrastructure for processing sugar, because the labor for people is very low, and there is a very large demand globally for highly, highly refined sugar. So it's kind of like, $100 million investment, then that pays itself off fairly quickly. And then the demand is just so big for highly refined sugar that it would be a very quick process. So I had mentioned that, and you all had mentioned that Palmyra Endeavor would be kind of like the direction that somebody with that kind of ambition could go, because you could actually tokenize and kind of fractionalize the amounts of the types of investments that would be needed and monetize those investments in relation to the scale of the business. So if there were like a processing machine that cost $200,000, I could split that price among people that wanted to invest, and then the profit brought by that machine, I could then divvy it out to them to pay back that initial investment, right?
Exactly that. And if I were to just give you the same example, I'm just going to change the numbers just so I can make it easier. Let's just say that you have exactly the same operation, but instead of 100 million, you just need 1 million. And I make it easier just so we can all understand it. So all you had to do is come and put an application in, fill out a form, that to the Palmyra Endeavor platform, and you just input all the information that you need. What's the operation, what are the costs, what are the you just put all the information that a retail investor would need in order for them to make the right decision. What's the ROI, how long is it going to take for people to get their money back, and all that stuff, right? So you go there, you're going to go through the form. We do all the due diligence. Right now it's for ourselves, but later down the road, PalmDAO will be in there, and we're going to be getting the community involved in all of these decisions as well, which I think it's something really cool for our community, to be actively participating in the ecosystem and the decisions that we make. But at the same time, you put the project up, they raise the money, and they will be able to just get these funds and go grow their business and do the things that they said that they're going to do. With that being said, what does that do is it gives something that we didn't have in the past, and that is access to retail investors in these kind of investments. And these are not investments, like Doge or, a meme coin or whatever, whatever people like to invest, or any other, crypto token. This is an investment that people know, hey, this is something real. This is something that it will produce a real product. These are the, we already have the buyers ready to go, and this is the timeline. So people can diversify their investments and their portfolio through this platform that we built through Palmyra Endeavor. And we really believe that it will bring a new wave of investors, if you will, into our ecosystem. And not only that, but people will be able, as soon as the operation starts and and whatnot, yes, people will hold the token. That we're also working with different partners right now, so that token not only will stay in their wallet, and they will say, hey, I own this amount of crops or what have you, from the sugar, but at the same time they will be able to take these tokens and put them in an LP, and get an API from that as well, or go and trade them. But at the same time, let's say that the 12 months or whatever the case is, the time frame that they gave for that project, for people to get their money back and whatnot. Let's say that all these months have gone by now and the product is out. People will be able to have the option to give those tokens to get the sugar if they want to get the sugar, and we get the sugar shipped to them. Or they want to sell the sugar, like most people would like to do, and you can do that as well. So it's not only a case where people will invest their ADA, their Palm, their Bitcoin, whatever have you, to get into this kind of investment, but they'll be able to have different tools after that to do something with those tokens. So that's something really exciting, and we haven't seen it yet into the Cardano ecosystem, and we're very happy about it.
That's amazing. And that's really great. I actually, that made a connection for me. I have a friend, Ian McKee, and he has like an ESG project that is using blockchain to track all this stuff. And it's pretty interesting. I believe that it is built on an EVM chain. But he's had a lot of success with some funding and different stuff going on, I think relatively recently, but he's been working on it for a while. So I think that there's probably some overlapping interests and things that you guys are building. So I'm going to make sure that I make that connection at some point.
I would love to talk to him.
Yeah, and I definitely want to have him back. I spoke with him really early, and he was really working hard on trying to make it happen. And then just like a couple of weeks ago, maybe a little over that, I saw that he's had a lot of success, right? So like, that's great. But that's fantastic. I have so many questions. The easy ones are the ones that I always like to ask people. I think I'm going to change it up for you a little bit because you said you were a chef, right? So I have 2 questions I ask everybody. I think for you, I have 3. So one of the questions I ask people is, if you can go anywhere in the world, right, and you can eat anything, what are you eating and where? And like, what is that? Paint a picture with words of what you're eating, right? Charles is buying, so you don't have to worry about that, right? Different places, like for different parts of the meal as well. Okay,
so I have 3 different, if you will, my top 3 foods. Okay. Number 1 is a burger. I just love a burger, a good burger with fries. And I will have that here in Vancouver. Definitely not in US. Sorry to all of my fellow US citizens.
You don't like why? You don't like you think the burger and fries are better in Vancouver?
They're better in Canada for sure, yes.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I mean, I've been in Canada. Haven't been to Vancouver, but I spent some time in Montreal.
The culinary, I guess, industry here in at least in Vancouver. I don't want to speak for any other cities in Canada because it might differ. But in Vancouver is very, very good. So again, burger in Vancouver. I'm having ramen in Osaka, Japan, because I love ramen. And I was in Osaka back in June because I went to visit our headquarters, Dan and Sam, over there. And I didn't have ramen, and I really wanted to have ramen. So that's something that I really want to do. And the third one is definitely souvlaki. And I'm having that in Thessaloniki in Greece, not in Athens, in the second biggest city, which is Thessaloniki. And yeah, that's where I'm having all three.
Gotcha. And then I wanted to ask if there is a food that you like to cook the most. So like I figured that what you like to eat is probably different from what you actually would enjoy to cook the most, right?
Okay, that's a good question. So when I first started cooking for the first 10 years, I was in the hot kitchen. So any food, any hot food or cold food, really. But after these 10 years, I really hated cooking, and I had to do something about it. So I switched over, and it became a pastry chef. So for the past 5 years of my chef, I guess, experience, I was just making desserts. So I love making desserts. I love making birthday cakes. So I think that's what I will say. I would make a birthday cake for somebody.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Actually, since you said that, I'm gonna throw this out there. So there is a specific dessert. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. Like I've never been able to find it again. But I feel
Describe it to
like,
me.
yeah, it was in. So I was actually in Rome, right? So I was in Rome whenever I got it, and it was like a custard with like berries, right? But every
Hmm.
single other time that I've tried to like find that specific one, it's they give me like flan or like literally just like a custard, but it was like
Was it panna cotta?
it could have been panna cotta, you think?
It's panna
It,
cotta for sure.
that's a cheese, right? Isn't
No,
it?
no, it's a
Oh
dessert.
no, it's a dessert. Let's see,
I
panna
will
cotta.
I will send it to you in a message so you can Google it. But it should
Panna
be panna
cotta.
cotta.
That was it. It
Hmm.
was panna cotta. So man, yeah.
See, I know my desserts.
No, I figured you would know. That was why I wanted to ask because, like, yeah, I think about it all the time, and I'm always like, "What was that?" Right? And yeah, so it's probably panna cotta. Yeah,
It's panna
man.
cotta for sure. I'm a chocolate guy myself, so I wouldn't really go for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a chocolate guy too, but that's the one that was coming to mind. But so fantastic. All right. So the other question I had is, I always ask, if you're going to sit down and you're going to watch a show, right, on Netflix or whatever, what is it that you look for that makes you decide that that's the thing you're going to watch, right? Because everybody like goes through the like doom scrolling where they like sit down and they're just like looking through all this stuff, but then there's something that pulls you in and then you pick that thing. What is that for you?
All I'm gonna say is that this process always takes so much time for everyone. When you're like, what should I watch now? It can take you like 45 minutes. It has happened to me many times. With that being said, I guess I wouldn't watch something that's one season that only has one season out.
Okay.
Um, especially, and I will tell you what. Back, 5 years ago or more, longer than that, every season used to have 12 episodes. And over the past few years, you saw it going down to 10. Now it's going down to 8. Why the hell would I watch 8 episodes and then wait for a year? I don't want to do that. That's
Yeah.
me, right? That's unless it's an amazing TV show or anything like that a lot of people will talk about and whatnot. But I think that's my biggest criteria, to have more than one season,
Yeah.
so I can spend a week or so, or couple of weeks to until I watch it. So I think that's my biggest thing.
Man.
And I
So
don't.
wait, here's my question. Did I catch you in real time making a passive aggressive slight at Squid Games too? Was
I
that
see. So okay, that's a good one.
That's
That's a good one because
because I had seven episodes, and they said that the other episodes will come out in the summer, right?
see the kind of these are the things that I don't like.
Yeah,
With Squid Games, to be honest with you, I like I watched the first season.
it was
I don't
awesome.
know why I don't really want to watch the second one, because in my head I'm like, okay, it's gonna be the same thing. Doesn't really switch it up. But again, that's just me, right? I haven't even watched the trailer, but I might watch it if I have nothing else to do. But with that being said, like, yeah, there was this TV show that they put out the second season, and second season, to your point, what you said, it was done in two separate parts.
Yeah.
So the second season came out with 4 episodes, and then had to wait for another 6 months to get another 4 episodes. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, especially because I worked in the filming industry, and I know what it takes for an episode to happen, and it takes like 3 to 4 weeks. Each episode that you see that you can watch on TV for like 45-minute episode, it takes about 4 weeks of shooting. But man, like for 4 episodes to wait for a full year, like come on, guys, you can do better than that.
All right, and then so you, I assume you speak Greek, and then you're
Yes,
in Canada, so you probably speak French.
I speak English. So
Oh
Canada, and that's something
no,
everybody thinks that we speak French in Canada. It's only Quebec that they speak, and maybe Montreal.
yeah.
But Quebec is the only place that they speak French. So far I didn't have to speak any French for the whatever years I've been here, and I'm not really planning to. English and Greek are more than enough for me.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. No, I was just gonna ask. I figured I was like Canada has multiple different,
I'm not
everything.
that smart. I'm not that
Okay,
smart, John.
well, fantastic. Let's see. So we talked about your journey in crypto. We talked about what you did beforehand. What made you choose Cardano? I think you said you watched the whiteboard videos and like it was mostly Charles, but like why have you stayed here? Being as there are a lot of other blockchains that are tackling
Mhm.
different aspects of things. So like in my mind, it's kind of like, well, what is the reason why you stayed here, right? And you didn't explore other blockchains?
Yep. Um, there's quite a few reasons. I'll say number one, because I really, really resonated with the whole vision. That's like the very basic reason is that I resonated with Charles' vision 100%. And I say 100% because the reason that I left Greece was because of the economy and because there was no future for me. My family didn't own anything, business, homes, or anything like that. So there was nothing for me back there. I came here in Canada and I started working, and I still remember the days that I was sending money to my mother back in Greece, and they had the capital controls. And what that was is that people could only, go to the ATM and they could only withdraw 50 euros per day. That was the limit. They could have like 10,000 euros in their bank account or 100,000. You could only get 50. To me, that was a big, wake up call, because I started to understand the fact that having centralized systems, a big example is the banking system, means that you don't really own your money, you don't own really anything, even your privacy. So to me, as soon as I got I saw this, I experienced this, and then I watched that Charles video. I'm like, oh my god, like the guy it was like he was talking to me, because I could feel everything, because I experienced it. And not too many people, especially in the Western world, have experienced something like that, and I'm hoping they won't. um But that was something that really resonated with me. And at the same time, first principles, all the foundations that we've put over the past so many years, I think they're very, very important. And there's no way in the world that a serious government, company, or anything like that will go and do something into the circus that we see out there. And I'll leave it like that. So first principles, the vision, and the fact that, security is top priority, all those things put together is what made me come to Cardano, and stay. Because before I was holding ADA, and still, like now, like I'm a Bitcoin holder. I used to own Ethereum, XRP, Tron. Like I've done it all. But my belief and I guess the safe investment in my head and in my opinion is and was Cardano, and of course projects from the ecosystem.
Interesting. That's awesome. And I love to hear that way. I am currently right now in Honduras. And so like I keep having my own personal issues with the things that work the way that things work here. When you go to a store and you buy something, you give them your like person identification number pretty much. And then once you have that, anybody anywhere can see everything that you've bought, right, from the stores or which stores you were at, right, and all of that. And then you have limitations on how much money you can take out of the bank. You have limitations on how much money you can deposit in the bank. You so many things. The bank works with like paper still, so you go and you wait all day to like you basically take a day's worth of work day to go to the bank to do any kind of transaction. And so like all of that, every single time I just get so mad, and I'm like, I am praying that very soon, or that this cycle or very soon, I can just like completely leave the banking system.
And I think all of us, and the more time that goes by and we see how things progress in our world, in the systems and in the places we live, like it just becomes more and more apparent that that's the way to go. That's the future.
Yeah. Well, I love that. So Theodore, inside of the Cardano ecosystem, what are the projects that you are the most excited about? Obviously, Palmyra and Palmyra Endeavor. We're pretty excited about that as well. And also, obviously, I have to ask, when is the token drop happening of Palm? Right. So I have to ask that one first, and then we'll go into what projects are you the most excited about.
Yes, for sure. So regarding the Palm token, the public sale is actually going to start in a few days, I will say. It's going to happen within January, and TG is going to happen right after that. So expect for people that have invested or will invest in the public sale, expect to have your token into your wallets within the first quarter. We're very, very excited about this. We cannot wait as a team. And at the same time, we're going to be, as soon as the token is out, we're also going to be launching the Palm staking portal right away. So everybody can go and start staking their Palm tokens, and not only from the Cardano blockchain, but also from other chains such as EVM and whatnot. So we're doing a multi-chain staking portal. So if you want to move your Palm tokens from the Cardano ecosystem, take them to the EVM, by all means, you can still stake your Palm tokens. Going to the next question, which is, what are my favorite projects building on Cardano? Number one is going to be World Mobile. I'm a huge World Mobile fan. I've been following the project since its beginning, and I have very good relationships with the whole team. So big fan, big supporter. I love World Mobile. And I will say number 2 will be book.io and stuff.io. I just love what the guys are doing. I'm a big fan, OG member and whatnot. And what would be the third one? I will say Empower. I'll say Empower because I like what Empower is doing as well.
Tell me about
Empower.
Tell me about Empower. I'm not that familiar.
Empower, so what they do is they build sustainable housing in Mozambique right now. I think they're in 2 different jurisdictions actually. They're in Mozambique and in one more African country, and they're building sustainable housing, and they're helping people with the loans and everything else, and like micro loans actually. And I think what they do is something very, very good for the communities over there. So yeah, we'll say Empower.
That's fantastic. Also, would love it if you could connect me with the World Mobile team. I would love to have them on. And ironically, like in some of the people that I've talked to, I've heard that there is a pretty large, specifically Greek community that it loves World Mobile Token in general. That's very there, but then also like I've heard about the Cosmo ecosystem as well. Like so that the like Cosmo ecosystem and World Mobile Token have like a very large like Greek whales in those ecosystems.
I'm not sure about the Cosmo blockchain and community and whatnot. I would assume that it's big. But yeah, World Mobile Token, I know that there's a lot of fans, and that should be because of me.
Awesome.
I've been preaching about World Mobile for a very long time, and yeah, there's a lot of people from the Greek community that I guess have followed me and whatnot, and they like the project as well.
Do you have any nodes or any of their other stuff? Yeah, that's awesome. Have you used their phone?
So yes, I've been using their eSIM. Actually, my brother was the very first person that got an eSIM on his phone, like worldwide, back at their Evo last year, I believe it was. And yes, I'm using their eSIM, especially when I go from different, from Canada to Argentina or Greece, and whatnot. Like it's the best thing you can have. It saves lives. And yes, I do have some Earth nodes that I own. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's super cool. Yeah, I definitely want to talk to that team. I want to have them on. I think it would be a blast. And like my family, I have some family in Venezuela, and I've been in all these different places. So like the World Mobile mission and the product and service that they provide by helping people to be connected anywhere, and then also creating like micro economies where you can supply the service to people while also getting rewarded for supplying that service and providing that service for your community. I think it's huge. That's something that
and while you're getting paid for it.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's fantastic. But Theodore, this has been great. What is the last thing that you'd like to tell everybody that's going to watch this and share with them to like your final thoughts, final message about Zengate Global, about Cardano, about what anything?
For sure. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to you for your invitation here and a great conversation that we've had. Regarding Zengate, and my last thoughts would be that I strongly believe that 2025 will be a year where Zengate and overall RWAs on Cardano are going to come to life. We have a lot of announcements and partnerships coming out in January and February. Like I mentioned earlier, our public sale is coming, and right after that, TGE will come. and our whole ecosystem is really going to get all the engines on. So I'm super excited about this. Keep your eyes open because there's a lot of big announcements that are coming that are coming out. The last trip we had in Argentina was very, very productive. And I really believe that RWAs on Cardano will bring a lot of people into our ecosystem. Our transactions, our daily transactions, and the volume is going to go up because there's a lot of things that are coming. So I think that 2025 is going to be a great year. I'm really looking forward to it. We're in first days of the year still, but we can all feel that there's a very good vibe in the air. And about the Cardano community, all I'm going to say is that there's challenges, but at the same time, we're all here to overcome them together. Conversations are good. Drama is something that Cardano is known for, so I don't think that's going to go away. But at the same time, it's important to focus on the people that are building the products that we're building, and make sure that you support everyone. Regarding governance, we can have conversations, and we're always going to be having conversations, and people won't agree, and that's totally fine, as long as we're mature enough to be able to still have a conversation. So I'll leave it there. Again, 2025 is going to be a great year, and I'm really looking forward to see RWAs coming on Cardano. And I really think that, this is going to be our year.
Fantastic. I'm excited to hear that. And thank you for joining me. This has been a blast. I hope we do it again very soon and talk about some of these announcements, because I mean, you've said there are many very big announcements. So I'm sure that they're probably coming sooner rather than later.
Yes, and we should do another catch up maybe after TG.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate your time, and we'll see you guys. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Definitely like, subscribe, share. Make sure you follow Theodor in general and Zengate Global. I'm going to have all of the links in the description below. Thank you guys so much, and thank you again, and we'll see you on the next one.